Today at ETInfra's Finance Summit, we are joined by Krishnan Iyer, CEO of NDR InvIT. Sir, really appreciate you joining us out here at ETInfra Finance Summit. Now, you are a stakeholder in the warehousing sector. You have a bird's eye view in terms of how the sector has evolved over the years. It has matured in the last few years. The assets are now quite investable. What is the trajectory ahead you see in the warehousing sector? Because warehousing has also seen a lot of consolidation in the last few years as well. So what is the trajectory ahead you see?
Sure. Thank you for having me over. Firstly, see, this is a sector. If I look at warehousing is a subset of the logistics sector. The logistics sector is completely dependent on the policy, uh, the growth in GDP, and the availability of infrastructure. If you have to look at policies, I think the government has been setting some very good policies in terms of be it the warehousing policy which they came up with, or the GST which they came up with almost 10 years ago. So these are all positive. Second is I think we've had a good growth in GDP, which has also kind of aided the warehousing. And third is infrastructure. As and when we build more highways, there's more transportation of goods will happen, storage would happen, and GDP, any infra spend has a multiplier effect on the GDP. So all that is helping. If I have to look at warehousing per se, I think we've consolidated into bigger boxes. These used to be fragmented. I won't say unorganized. They were kind of organized, but used to be fragmented, smaller boxes. So all that has kind of now people are seeking larger warehouses because post GST, what has happened is warehousing is done the way it should be done, not based on the tax impact, right? So if you look at a large corporate, they used to have about 25 to 26 warehouses. All that has become about 10 or 11 warehouses now. So we see a few changes. One is uh, the size of the box is getting larger, and we see a lot of institutional investments coming in and backing the warehousing sector. We're backed by some private equity players. We're backed by large funds. We're backed by family offices and all that. Uh, Going forward, I see a switch. I see a demand more on the grade A warehousing. Grade B would be there, and I would see a bigger span out happening in terms of tier two cities. I would even say that tier three cities in about 3 to 4 years. So this is what I see. I think uh, it should grow at up. I would say that we're growing at double digits, but the industry should grow in about close to double digits.
Today at the summit, you also shared that weddings and conventions are becoming revenue opportunities. Now that's a very interesting aspect.
Right.
Could you elaborate a little bit on the same front?
Sure. If you look at the wedding industry in India, it's about, I think, if the tech industry is about 200 or $300 billion. I mean, IT services is about $200 billion. I think the wedding industry is slated to be at about 150 to $160 billion. Though it's a limited season, but there's a high demand. So what we're seeing is we are seeing increasingly convention centers coming up, for weddings and things like that. We're doing one such projects. This is not a core thing. Again, we don't operate these convention centers. Our idea is we're in the yield business, be it a warehouse, be it a data center, or be it a hospital building. As long as somebody else is operating it, we're fine. So we came up with this joint development agreement with a leading hotel operator, and the work should commence soon. And that's going to be in the NCR area. And I see this catching up.
I mean, if I would take it this way, this also shows the innovativeness in terms of how you go about creating a financial product and going into areas probably you would have never been, but finding it anyway.
True. Okay, I think we were forced to do that because land prices have gone up so much. So it doesn't make sense for me to do a warehouse. The yields don't, justify. So what else can I do to kind of amplify the yield? So one thing that came up was yes, a convention center, and under the infrastructure investment trust, this is permitted. It is permitted because this forms a part of social infrastructure, which is a part of the InvIT.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate you joining us
Yeah.
out at 18
Thank
Crop
you.
Finance. Thank you so much.